It has been a while since my last Fortnite video, but that is because the first season of Chapter 5 has been extremely long, and it ends next week. But I have a Dune video for next week, so we're doing it a week early. Today we're going to discuss whether the 4 modes were worth it after our first look in the live event at the end of Fortnite OG. So let's start with good old Battle Royale and then cover Festival, which by the time this video comes out will be in its second season, LEGO and Rocket Racing. It's worth bearing in mind that the season before this was the OG one. It was extremely simple, and for someone who normally hops on just to wind down a bit, it was nice and extremely fun because of how simple it was and how simple the original map is. It made the jump to Chapter 5 just a little overbearing in my opinion. Of course, add back swimming and the NPCs, but other than that, they kind of threw too much at us in terms of gameplay in Battle Royale. All at once with the new movement, weapon modding, and the concept of the medallions. Obviously Fortnite should be evolving, but all of this at once in Battle Royale just felt like a lot. The weapon modding is fairly simple, which is good, and I think the medallions are funny, though rendered kind of pointless since they nerfed them not to heal to 100. But we had the movement for over 6 years. It was perfect and didn't need changing, that's all I'm going to say on it. But I just feel like it was too much at once. The map also isn't my favourite they've done, and neither are the weapons. Again, it all just feels off after OG for me personally. The Battle Pass is pretty good with a really cool Jonesy skin, Nisha, and finally Peter Griffin is finally here in Fortnite. The 3 skins on the thumbnail, and that's because they're the best. Peter should 100% have a fat style though. While Winterfest lacked a lot, they made up for it with the Ninja Turtle update at the end of the season. Easily the best mini event after the Star Wars Pass from last year, which was definitely the best one. Here's to round 2 this May 4th. But overall, I would say Battle Royale was not worth it in my opinion. It's just too much, especially coming off the back of Season OG, which was simply the most fun I've had on Fortnite in a long time. Fortnite Festival was another that could easily fall into the not worth it category for me personally. I don't know how many of you know this, but I only listened to Gaga for the longest time, so guess the one track on Festival I bought. That's right, Bad Romance. And now Gaga has even more tracks in Fortnite because this script was written before she was announced to be in Season 2, and I'm having so much fun with it now. Only recently did I expand music more, and by expand I of course mean add one more artist, and that's Bon Jovi. Can we get Living on a Prayer in Fortnite? Thanks. So you can imagine that I'm not the biggest fan of this mode, and you'd be right. Unless I'm playing Bad Romance, because then you'd be wrong. My point is, for me as someone who listens to Gaga, Bon Jovi in film stores, this mode really isn't for me. The character combos you can come up with are quite funny, but other than that, it's just not worth losing OG for this mode for me. And I'm sure for a lot of people, the issue is if you don't listen to a lot of music and your favourite artist isn't in this mode, then you're not going to enjoy it that much. And that's the problem I had before they added Gaga to Fortnite, and now I'm playing it loads, but what are you going to do? So Fortnite Festival has definitely moved up for me since I wrote the script, but I still don't think it's worth it over OG, which was so simple and so fun. Hey guys, guess what? I don't like or watch racing or F1 either. I know, how boring am I? What do I do with my life? That's a good question, but not one that needs answering now. However, despite this, I actually really like Rocket Racing. I know, it's just kind of fun to play. I've played it a ton this season, and it is probably the only reason I'm close to level 200. It's fairly simple, but that's all it really needs to be. Can it be a little annoying when you barely get any points for placing high? Sure, but I really don't care for my rank. It is just fun to play for me, and I genuinely do really enjoy it. Maybe not worth losing OG for me, but definitely worth something. I know not a lot of people will agree with me on this, but this definitely is one of the better modes to pick from in Fortnite. This is meant to be the magnum opus of the new modes, and while it was fun for a couple of weeks, it felt very lackluster very fast, due to a lack of updates. Plus building is really awkward because unlike Minecraft you can't flatten out your land, and unlike Battle Royale, you can't put builds into the ground. It's kinda silly. but all the skins do look incredible in Lego form. And now, finally, Lego sets have been leaked, and the Battle Bus is one of them, which is incredible. But this mode does feel a little bare bones right now, and for that, it's almost not worth it. Despite this, there is 100% potential there, and I can't wait to see what they do with this in the future. That alone, and the potential of sets, is worth it in my opinion. Worth the investment from Lego into Epic Games and vice versa and whatnot, and worth losing OG just to get Lego Fortnite sets, because I'm sure they'll be great, and I can't wait to add them to my collection. Whether Chapter 5 is worth it or not certainly depends on where you stand on each of the modes. But for me personally, I'm leaning towards not worth it, just because it came off the heels of perhaps the most fun I've had in years on the game. And also because I'm not just a huge fan of a couple of the modes, but it is not like any of it is even that bad. It's just not my cup of tea. Then again, I don't drink tea. But overall, I'd give it all a 7 out of 10. It's fairly good for the most part. Next week is Dune, and then it is finally Millie time. See you all then. Peace out.